Thank Ranking Member Castor for her opening statement, and now recognize the Chair of the full committee, Ms. McMorris Rodgers, for 5 minutes for an opening statement.
Thank you, Chair Griffith. With every passing day, daily life gets more and more expensive for my constituents in Eastern Washington. They join people and families across the country who are paying skyrocketing prices to put gas in the tank, stock their shelves with food, house their families, and pay their energy bills. Inflation is spiraling out of control, thanks to President Biden's massive spending spree. It began with the American Rescue Plan and continued to escalate with the Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act, creating helpful incentives for semiconductors or CHIPS and Science Act, and then the so-called Inflation Reduction Act. Most recently, the administration has doubled down on its reckless spending with its latest $6.8 trillion, yes, record-breaking $6.8 trillion budget proposed for fiscal year 2024. We've heard a lot about the so-called historic investments and the rush to green agenda that the administration plans to advance with hard-earned taxpayer dollars. We've had many questions surrounding this massive spending spree that is making life unaffordable in America. For example, how will agencies stand up dozens of new programs in a short period of time? Do program offices, especially brand new ones, possess the necessary expertise and oversight mechanisms to make responsible investments in new projects? How can American taxpayers learn more about how federal agencies are really spending their hard-earned tax money? How are conflicts of interest and political favoritism influencing agency funding decisions? How will agencies address long-standing problems with programs that will now have more funding to hand out? And how much of this money is being given to companies to build their products in China? My colleagues and I on the committee are pushing for answers to these questions. My constituents sent me to Congress to ask hard questions and to protect their hard-earned tax dollars. They're frustrated when looking at the federal government printing more and more money, doling out huge awards and incentives to preferred industries and favored political causes, all the while they struggle to make ends meet every day. However, I want to remind everyone at home and our federal agencies that my Republican colleagues and I are watching. We are ready to hold these agencies accountable and their leadership for their spending decisions. As Chair Griffith noted, our subcommittee chairs and I have already requested a full amount of account of the spending from our federal agencies and are going to continue to push for transparency. Inspector General and the Government Accountability Office are integral parts of the federal oversight community, and we appreciate all who are here today as witnesses to join us. We look forward to your testimony regarding the most serious challenges facing federal agencies, programs most vulnerable to waste, fraud, and abuse, and lessons learned from previous failures that Congress and agencies can apply to future mismanagement of taxpayer dollars. We also appreciate this opportunity to learn more about your upcoming work and difficulties you must confront in conducting oversight of these ballooning agency budgets. We plan to use the information we gathered today to prioritize our oversight efforts, pinpoint federal programs that demand more scrutiny, and identify how to stop wasteful spending. We have a lot of hard work ahead of us, given this unprecedented spending boost to many of the agencies under this committee's jurisdiction. However, we're not going to shy away from the challenge, and I do hope that we will do this together with my colleagues across the aisle, Republicans and Democrats, joining together for responsible stewardship of federal funds. As we are all duly elected members, representatives of the people, serving in the people's house, it is our Article I responsibility to conduct oversight so that the agencies within the federal government are responsive to those we serve. We cannot let the American people become irrelevant to a growing bureaucracy that recklessly prints and spends record amounts of money. Federal agencies must implement the law as it is written by Congress, the elected representatives of the people. Again, members on both sides of the aisle share a responsibility to monitor these activities, and I look forward to our discussion today. And again, thank you to the witnesses for being here. I yield back.